All right, so today we are jumping into OMI, OMI, ECOMI, VeVe. All these are going to make sense to you in just a minute and how they all tie together. This is going to be a big one, guys. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to Tech Bath. All right, so electronic comics, that's what VeVe really is. If you think about VeVe, the concept of what they're trying to do in the NFT space, it's a big move in a direction for a massive market play, which I think will, especially as you look at all the tie-ins of all the different massive franchises that are out there, whether it's Disney, et cetera, there's just so much available here that can really kind of start to pop this off. If you look at just the website here, VeVe is an app-based. Maybe you've never seen this yet. I'm new to this one, and I was a comic book collector at one time. So this to me is like a new holy grail. It's a new place to really discover a lot of this stuff. But it's a marketplace, premium licensed digital collectibles. You'll be able to get and can obtain rare and one-of-a-kind digital collectibles, which I think is going to be huge in the business of collectibles in the near future, especially how all of this ties into the metaverse eventually at some point. All this through the app, so it's an easy sign-up process. I'll go through some of it here on the iPad for you guys to kind of see how the process might go on if you're looking to get into a collectible. But what's more interesting here is the utility aspect behind OMI. OMI being the token that essentially is the driver of the transactor tool or fuel inside VeVe, which is gems. Now, OMI, that's the one we want to keep an eye on because this has the underlying component to where all the utility is going to drive into this NFT platform being VeVe. Let's talk about the utility program. OUP, it's designed to give OMI token holders a utility and benefits within the VeVe app. And incredibly, they're doing this whole new launch here, which is the first time you're hearing about it. VeVe token OMI utility, all getting started. If you're already in OMI, homie. We'll talk about that in a second and what that means. But all of this is tying in a utility and the feature sets that this utility is going to mean inside of VeVe itself. So I want to talk about what OMI x VeVe/VeVe. So obviously you guys know this is a digital collectible experience. But if you're new to the fam, I love the way they write their blog posts. OMI was envisioned 3 years ago and then minted in 2019. Since then, the crypto and the NFT industries have rapidly been developing and enabling new designs, hence this whole engine required. This is where this MCP is going to come into play. It's a loyalty program designed to reward the VeVe collectors. So it'll be part of, again, the underlying architecture of what's happening on the tech side of OMI itself. Again, back to the blockchain, how all of this ties into NFTs is going to be very interesting in the next couple of years. And I think that is, like most of these, very interesting in early investment. So like startups, whether you look at this like a startup phase, if you look at it like in the dot-bomb era, when all of these new era companies were really developing, a lot of these kind of things were happening in the sense of technology underlayers were occurring, but the winners were starting to be printed and put out into the market, and that's where the Amazons, the Googles, all those types of companies in the tech space really evolved from. That's what's happening right now in the NFT gaming and metaverse sector. It's a lot to keep up on and track of. The key is watching the big players, and VeVe, I think, will become probably one of the key players when it comes to digital collectibles. And if you look at the app and you kind of understand where this is going, you'll kind of get it here in a second. But the OMI utility overview, basically you're going to get staking programs. They're going to have a secondary market trading with OMI, which is going to be interesting. Then they are doing a drop raffle. They've got this whole idea around premium market listings and then accessory purchases. I want to go into the staking program itself because this will be an element that will start to play into this whole strategy and how it works. Fast track. If you don't want to wait for the requested staking period to expire, to move to the next tier, you can fast track your way to burning a specified amount of OMI. So I want you to do some research on this right now, really diving into this particular, just go to the VeVe webpage and go to their Medium blog posts. And that's the first thing you want to do is jump into OMI and the utility token aspect of it and how you can stake on this. So we'll do these market movers. And what we're doing here is we'll pull together some research We're also going to give you a chart here in a little bit that's going to give you some trajectory of OMI and how all this can be tied into what you're doing maybe from a long-term investment strategy. But it is not investment advice. This hopefully is moving you in the right direction. If you're into digital collectibles, or if you're into NFT, or if you are into just tokens that are moving, then all of this video is for you. So it ties in all these things. Back to staking tiers. Tier 1, the Homie Homie. So you're going to get 3D and profile badges, accessory purchases, premium market listings, and then the bonus points. Tier 2, Oh Millionaire. You get Tier 1, you get 3D, access to the OMI drop, raffle, you get to burn NFTs for points. That's another benefit. And then Omi 1 Kenobi. Tier 2, you get the 3D. Renting collectibles, this is another aspect to it, which our guys, I was trying to, what would you rent here? But I would agree. If you have an NFT gallery or something of that nature in your virtual world, metaverse aspect, maybe down the future, we could see this in real life being played into renting collectibles to maybe businesses, meaning like retail, hotels, restaurants, etc. That could be a scenario there for really kind of dicing up the environment in real world through the metaverse. So that'll be interesting to see how all that kind of plays into it. But there is some fees here in terms of withdrawal. They have this whole secondary market trading aspect that they're talking about, and going into that component, it does have some regulation and compliance around NFT and cryptocurrency. So there are a lot of this going into play in terms of KYC. So all this still is tied to KYC. Just be aware of all that. Just to give you an idea of where this is going. Here's an example. The Simpsons get its first NFT, VeVe's Disney NFT, to earn $7 million just this week. All right. In late October, VeVe announced it would be launching the Disney NFTs. It hasn't wasted time over the weekend. It did its first drop. Simpson was the big one. And then tomorrow they're going to go into some of the other characters, which is Elsa, Pixar, all that. All that happens. Still more drops coming. Star Wars is going to be the big one, I think, that will really play out here, getting a lot of people's attention. And then, get this, all 18,000 Simpsons collectibles sold out completely. So VeVe being tied into Disney. As with most NFTs, there's always a few people who want to flip them for a profit quickly, and there's no different. Common Bart and Homer digital figurines being auctioned from 150 upwards, with rare stake boards auctioning for almost double that amount. So this is where it gets fun, because in digital collectibles, I think this is all new in the sense of, one, the early adopters are much like what you see in the crypto space in 2013, 2017. This is what I think we're seeing right now in digital collectibles, NFTs, and the metaverse. These early adopters who are starting to move into the space and really going to make bank on some of these projects. So, and we've seen this on all sorts of things around where NFTs are moving. So big, big moves out there for sure. Here's the Omi VeVe Digital Collectibles Twitter account, AR comic reader, now with tilt. This is a pretty cool feature. In the last update, you'll see the AR. This is inside the VeVe app. Okay, so just follow the VeVe Twitter account. VeVe Official, I believe is what it is. But it's inside the app. You'll see the AR comic reader now. That's tilt slider. This means you can read your comic without pointing your phone downward on a flat surface. So go ahead and read your comic in bed. So that's kind of the cool aspect of this. Again, just tons of stuff happening with, if you just look at their Twitter feed alone, 140,000, great community. Already starting to, I imagine this is going to be about 1 million followers in the next 24 months. I think that's the kind of growth we're going to see here for sure. I want to jump over to the VeVe app and show you guys a little bit about how this works, or at least, maybe how you could utilize it and take a look at. But let's say we go into Marvel Spider-Man, and this is going to get you into the different series. You can see this one right here where the green dot is on the top right of your top left. But it's got the green dot for common, then you've got the uncommon, then you further on down a little bit rare, ultra rare, and then an example right here of the secret rare. Let's go in and take a look at the secret rare. So this one was actually priced at $6.99. You go into it now and you can start to see the movement of where this value is already. And this is at $6.25. This one is selling, that is the 14401. So you can go in and collect that one. You learn a little bit about it. the buy now, 70 for sale in the market right now. This is your floor price, the 625 gems. Flash Ray is the owner on this one. Secret Rare, 600 editions, cover variant, etc. Total 30 editions. And this is a good example. I mean, the fact that this is going into so much detail, and I love the marketplace effect of this because you see all of the people that have these lined up in the ability to sell these. This is just amazing. And if you've been a comic book collector or you've been into digital collectibles in general, maybe this is new going into the space. Remember, all of this is driven off of ECOMI, the token. That's the key thing here as all of this starts to fly. So as VeVe, Disney really start to roll out a lot of aspects to what digital NFT and digital collectibles are going to be in the future, this right here could be one of the key things that's going to drive some of these projects to the next moon. So let's take a look at the chart, do a quick review, and this one is the first time we've run a sentiment analysis on this, and we've been able to kind of Gantt this one out as well. But if you look at sentiment, which was pulled right here on November 29th, 7206 and a 7319, this thing has flipped in terms of amplification. To explain that, if you're new to the show, there's two things that we pull out of our CPI, which is our Crypto Power Index. One is sentiment, which is network effect, people talking about this, and what better thing when you think about just the communities and what we're going to see in the whole effect of kind of amplification on social media around things like this. VeVe, very, very visual, and I think what we'll continue to see is a lot of that. So amplification is a big key factor here on how people are talking about this, how they're investing it, trading it, doing all those kind of things, which helps drive price action. So what we do is we map that over the chart on TradingView, and it gives us a little bit of an overview, high-low, on where this project is going. And if you look at this one right now, let me get my pointer here. You can kind of see here where VeVe picked up on the 29th. It started to really start to move. We saw a little bit of outside, a little correction, and then a nice little move right back into our predictor. We see this coming in somewhere on the low side around 77. You're at, 7 cents. On the high side, I believe we're up almost at 10, but let's take a, or at 0.001. So right here is kind of where you're pointing at. Right on, yeah, 0.0085. So this still growing and looking like it's going to do some pretty big damage. The key here is, will this be one of those projects that really continues its breakout during an altcoin aspect of where this market is going? If you look at the success of what VeVe is doing, and I think as we start to see more and more people going into digital collectibles, watch the communities, because I think that is going to be the tell on how this market is really starting to flow. The other aspect will be partnerships and ties into the metaverse. Keep your ear to the grindstone here, because that, I think, are going to be the keys that are really going to move projects like what we'll see with ECOMI out there. So again, if you guys are listening in on the podcast right now, man, you're missing all these great graphics that we've been able to show here on the show today. But you can do that by just jumping over here to the YouTube channel. It's real simple. Subscribe, hit the bell. It's going to give you notifications on the next topic that we drop, including our live streams, which we do a lot of interesting and special things, including giveaways. The Diamond Circle is easy to join. If you're coming new to the show, join the Diamond Circle. We do drops of assets, digital assets. We just gave away $1,000 the other day. We are doing, of course, information drops inside. We deliver that to you via email. You just sign up, and then best of all is you get a lot of our early charts, and that's really kind of the big win for joining the Diamond Circle. So just jump right in. And of course, if you want to hit us up on Twitter, just hit me up on Twitter at Paul Barron. It's real simple. We'll catch you next time right here at TechPath.